Hey guys! Welcome to my review of the Fantech GP13 wired gaming controller. I've been using this controller for a month already and decided to share about my experience in using it. So the GP13 comes in black with hints of red under the two analog sticks and the buttons labeled in white. The layout is generally one-to-one to an Xbox controller. The buttons are responsive, the D-pad are accurate, and the analogs feel okay, but more on that later. The triggers have a bit more resistance than I expected, and it turns out I actually prefer it that way. The GP13 also supports D-input mode. There are LED lights on the bottom, which indicates which mode is currently on. The vibration feels adequate. The analog stick is definitely better than the cheap for 100 peso controllers, but still feel a bit inaccurate compared to the Xbox One and other console-level controllers. You can see here in this clip where you may notice that when I'm rotating the analog, there seems to be a bit of locking in the four directions. This is the reason why I find it difficult to play FPS games on this controller. The GP13 also has a sturdy plastic build with a grip on the top palm area, which provides a nice texture. It is a little bit smaller and lighter than an Xbox One controller. It has a cable length of about 1 meter, which gives you a pretty good length if you're on your PC or laptop. Turbo mode is a welcome feature. What it does is that you can hold down a button, and the controller reads it that you are tapping the button. To turn on turbo mode, just hold down the turbo button and press the corresponding button you want to assign it to. You can clear the turbo by doing the same, but you hold down the clear button instead of the turbo. In their website you can get the controller for about 950 pesos. But in online shopping websites, you can get discounts and the price drops down to about 770 pesos. In terms of platformers, I feel that this controller works really well. The buttons were responsive, and it felt comfortable all throughout the time I was playing. So for games like these I'd say it's a 9 out of 10. For racing games like this, it works, but there were times where I couldn't turn as smooth as I wanted to. I wouldn't say the experience is bad, but it could be a lot better with a more accurate analog. I did enjoy playing the game still. I'd give it a 7.3 out of 10. First-person shooters. This was probably the worst with all of the games I tested, especially with aiming guns. The analog just won't respond or aim the way I want it. I even instinctively switched to a close-ranged weapon. Having said all that, the game isn't completely unplayable with the controller. With enough time to get used to it, or using aim assist, I still believe you can play FPS games with the controller. It just won't be as smooth of an experience. 6 out of 10. In 3D adventure games, the controller works pretty good. The movement and combat feels tight and responsive. The only struggle I had, if I had to say, is that aiming with the bow, in combat or in challenges and puzzles, gave me a bit of trouble. 8 out of 10. The GP13 also works on Android. It works pretty much the same as on PC. You just need a Type-C adapter to connect it to your phone. I didn't get the chance to test it on the PS3 because I don't have one, sad face. The Fantech GP13 Shooter 2 is an overall good quality controller. I've been using it for a month now, and it gave a consistent gaming experience. It works pretty well with the wide majority of game genres, unless it's an FPS, in which you may have some trouble. If you're on a budget and want a good overall quality controller, and won't be mainly playing FPS games, then I can recommend the controller. Thank you again for watching. If you have any questions, you can comment down below, and I'll see you in the next video.